Hello everyone, I'm Darito, I'm server of Discord, and this is the first Huntress build for farming gold. This is a very good build for farming gold. However, I must say some things before I go into the gameplay. This is not intended for someone who is new at the game or just spend a few hours, because this is a quite expensive build. It took me a lot to make it work, so I don't suggest to go on this build. If you want a Huntress build for farming gold and you are starting to play the game or something like that, I suggest to go to Bewit's 177 channel and see his gameplay. I watched his videos and I find them very useful. I started this build using his videos, and then I tried to make it work better, just with all the things. The second things you need to do to understand is that this is a very laggy build, so keep that in mind. If you don't have a computer with that supports all the rebounds and skills, I don't suggest to go with this build because it will crash the game. Now I'm going to show you a gameplay. A thing to consider is that the graveyard is a very laggy place, as you can see. I lag a lot, but however, all the runs in the graveyard are more faster than the prison, but I get a lot of gold in the prison more than in the graveyard. That's one thing to consider. So I prefer always to go on prison. If I get the graveyard, just I skip. I press this button and do it again until I got the prison. Another thing I need to say is that the gold I got for every run is about 700 to 1 million. Sometimes I get more than that, but they are not usual. The most I got is almost 1,200,000 gold. So you must understand this is not what is happening so often. As you can see, I have a lot of projectile speed and a very way to clear. Of course, you can use this build to clear all scenarios and farm for materials, but this is not the best. If you want that, I suggest to change some things in the attributes and some things in the skills. Just take out this smoke screen that gives you a boost of gold, and go with the tumble. But I'm going to, as you can see, it hits me and I don't die, so I can resist at least every hit in the game. I don't have a lot of elemental resistance to afford being hit by these guys, but I have a lot of elite damage reduction, so I won't die with one hit. Another thing to say is that until you get this build, you will need to get a lot of materials and resources, and reroll a lot of epic options. It took me about 400 hours to make this build, so just be patient. If you try to do a build like this, it is very rewarding because I farm whenever I need gold, like 20 minutes or half an hour and I get about 4 or 5 millions, even more. I have a table with all the scores, and after that I'm going to show you how it works. And well, I kill this. I'm going to show you how much gold I earn. Well, there was a lot of gold, but this is the time: 3 minutes 46 seconds and 7 almost 800 gold. I think if I get those gold that were in the floor on my left, I would get like 795 gold, but this is good. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I made this build and how it works. Your main skill is a arrow shot, this skill, and your secondary skill could be anyone, but I suggest to go on this because these two skills. However, you can use explosive or this boy arrow, even this or this. Just it's not very important. The other thing you need to know is that we are using smoke screen. It's a must to use smoke screen and arrow shot. Smoke screen is the best because it has this passive at tier 4 that it has 50% chance to drop Goldus when you critically strike an enemy. So keep that in mind. Well, I'm going to explain some things about the tiers of every ability. First, I'm going to start with arrow shot. Well, in the tier 1 of arrow shot, you will have these two options, rebound and 4th chance. Why did I choose 4th chance? Because it's easier to get 100% rebound chance than get 100% 4th chance. So I get 50% 4th chance and then 50% in the gear, and I got the 100% 4th chance, and I have in the gear 100% rebound. So you always go with forking arrow. In the tier 2, a lot of builds go with this 100% chance, pierce chance. I changed it and I go to multi-fork because it forks into 5 arrows. This is a huge amount of gold when you are hitting, because imagine you hit one enemy and it forks in 5 arrows. You are hitting 5 times, so you are not making more damage. You are hitting faster, so you are killing faster, but you are going to earn the same gold because just you are hitting for the same amount of damage. And if that works like that, you are going to kill faster but with the same goal, because this is a must. This is a must, and these two, so you have to use multi-fork. On the 3rd tier, a lot of people go with this or with this. I don't suggest to go on rebound arrows because it applies more damage. You don't want more damage. You want less damage but a lot of hits. So this is going to be worse for farming gold, because you are going to farm about 100 or 150 less gold per run. So I don't suggest to go on this. Another thing, this skill is good when you don't have 100% critical strike chance. However, when you got about 95% or almost 100, you just stop using it because it has a lot of cooldown time. So I'm going to show you how I look. Now it's 0.33 seconds to to make the ability, and if I don't use it, 0.13. So it's very different, you know. I suggest always go here, but if you don't have the crit chance when you are building this build, just go here until you get all the crit chance. This is the best because it gives you evasion, and it works very well with this indomitable mountain that gives you armor based on your evasion. You are not going to dodge anymore, but you are going to have a lot of armor. So and this is the armor, and this is the rest, the percentage of reduction. So it is very good. Well, why I don't go on this? Because it's every time I'm tormented, I am always using arrow shot. It's very I don't know how to say in English, but there are not a lot of times you are going to get tormented. So this is not a good option. I've tried, of course, to get plus this projectile speed 200. This is not good, so I don't suggest to go on this. You are always going to be the light, so plus 25% evasion is a huge difference. Just look, I have 10 I have this this armor, and when I turn on this, oh, okay, it seems it doesn't work, but okay. Oh, I should be the light, I think. Well, the thing is that it works very well in the I've tried it, and it works very well in the graveyard. About tier 4 and tier 5, I've tried a lot. All these are not good for this build. Just go on this because you have more projectiles. One thing I need to say, whenever you got more projectiles, every projectile gives you a 10% decreased damage. What I mean is that when you are going to, for example, if you are going, if with 9%, and when 9 arrows you are hitting at 100 damage, with 10 arrows you are going to hit 90 damage, because if you go here to the explanation on additional projectile, if you see projectile is reduced by 10% for each additional projectile down to a maximum of 90%. So this is very good because it lowers your damage, but it gives you more projectiles, so you are going to hit a lot of them. The last skill in this tree is this. This you don't want to use because it poison, doesn't care, and well, and this 10% to fork chance to fork again is useful. Just that's all. It's very useful because when your projectile doesn't fork anymore, you have a 10% chance to fork it again. So it is good. And remember, if your projectile forks, remember that forks turns into 5 arrows, so you're going to have 5 arrows more, and this is a lot of hits. Another thing to consider is that this is smoke screen. You don't need to go to the tier 8, just going to the tier 4 is enough. Well, here it gives more evasion, just for the multiplier. If I got more evasion, just I'm gonna keep here, you know, I have less evasion, less decreased damage. Now I got more decreased damage. There's no more than that. Here You can use this, or you can use this. I use this just for using something to go on to uh, to make it work, arrow of illusion, because you are going to be safe a lot of times with this. In the third tier, I use this. I suggest to go on this because sometimes you are going to be hit, and if you don't have the resistance to don't be one-shotted, it will helps you a lot. So just go on this. And on tier 4, this is a must. This is the passive you need to get more gold, and it has some synergy with this armor that having well, at the moment it has this percent chance for enemies to drop Goldus when you hit them. The other things that just as you wish, I'll go here because it is stun. This is I used here. I have to say something about this tier 7. This tier 7 has a bug, so what I would like to take is this armor of illusion. You have plus this evasion, so it will give me a lot of armor. However, what happened when I turn on this? Look, it's bugged, so I don't get. So here, go on this. You can go on this, but you are not having poison and you don't want increased damage, so just go on this. Yeah, it is what you should take this until the depths finds a solution for this. And the last skill, I just take this to just for taking something, you know, but you don't need this. Well, my secondary skill is this rain of arrows. What should I explain about it? Well, first you're going to go to this tier because you want it as fast as it can. The second, you're going to go here because what happens when you throw this, enemies are going to be pulled in center. If you see, there is a chain of arrows, so they will be knocked back with the rain of arrows. So if you take this and you take this here tier 3, you're going to knock back enemies very far from you, and you can survive a lot of times. The other things they are not too useful. I use this just because it gives them a slow, and here, well, I did this to increase the damage just for taking something when I start killing boss elites enemy, because you know they are very tough to kill. So this is rain of arrows. There's no much explanation about this, just try to get this and this, and the rest is up to you. About arrow shot, remember just this and these are the most important. This and this, well, they are not the more important, but they are useful. And about smoke screen, the most important is this. Try to get this, that's all. Well, I'm going to explain about gear. What things you should need to look for in gear. First of all, I want to say I have Aurifurious. This is not the primordial version, this is just the fusion. It makes multiply my gold. So currently I have 744, so this is a lot of Goldus fine. And if I change, for example, to this bow, you will see that my Goldus fine decreases a lot, just 500. So It's a lot. That's about the Reaper. Of course, you will need to farm this and get this to level 50 and get this to level 50 to unlock this, and try to get at max this because it gives you a lot of gold. Well, which are the items or the options you need to get in your gear? Well, I have to explain something about base stat, magic stats, and rare stats in order to make this build works. First of all, what I need to explain is that epic stats have always lower values than rare stats and magic stats, and magic stats and rare stats have always lower values than base stats. So what do you need to look for? Well, you will need to look for at first for critical strike chance. Here is 184, but this is not real because I have this passive. But for example, if I get rid of this passive, you will see my true critical strike chance. So here my critical strike chance is this. Okay, well, is 102. So first of all, you are going to look for critical strike chance wherever you can in base stats and attack speed. What is the cap of attack speed you need to get? You are going to need about 60%. To go in having more attack speed, this is not very useful. I just have attack speed locked because I used it in the past, so I didn't want to change it. For example, in this here in the epic stat, because it is very expensive. It costs 9 epic shards to change it, to unlock it, and then all the changes one epic for each change. So it will be very expensive. I don't want to reroll that, but at least 60%. Another thing is that about critical strike damage, I only have one part, that is this, that has a critical strike damage to help me to kill a little faster, but that's all. I don't want more than that. What are the other stats you want on base stats? You want evasion, just as you can see, I have evasion and life in everything. Whenever you can use or get critical strength chance or base stat, just get it, and it is more important than attack speed and than evasion and than life. So the first stat you need to get is critical strike chance. The second thing you need to get on base stats is life and evasion. That's all. However, I must say some things about this. In rings and this armor you will need to get in base stats Goldus Fine, because it gives you a lot of Goldus. Just 25% with the multiplier of Aurifurious. It's a lot of gold, so you will need to get that. The other stat you need to get that is very important, at least 50%, is fork chance. Try to get fork chance. I have one in the rare stats and the other in the epic stats here, and I think I have another, just don't remember when I put here in the magic and epic Um, well, with these two I get 50%. Just, but to change this, to unlock this is quite hard, so I'm not going to change it by now. But if you get 4 chance here and here, you will be okay. And if you have in one of epic stats, you will get the 50%. The other stat you need to get is pierce chance and projectile speed. Which is the best at the moment? At the moment, the best is pierce chance. Why I say that? Because it is very hard to get 100% pierce chance. I have one in these rare stats, I have one on these magic stats, and I have a lot of pierce in the epic stats. As you can see, I have here, I have here. So just try to get on this, on these two, but on these three, I mean, and try to get the rest of the pierce chance in the epic stats. Remember that magic stats and rare stats are always the same in the item. So for example, I have pierce chance in my magic star here. I can, if I change this option, I can have the same stat but in rare stat, the same pierce chance but in the rare stat. They always share the same stats and sometimes the same values. Well, about projectile speed, well, I got one. I tried to get 100% projectile speed, and that's all. Just go on this. I think here I have. I don't remember very well. Wait me a second. I have some projectile speed in the epics. In the epics, just in here, in Golden Fleece of Meadows, and this Ancestral Favor, and in this helm. With these three, I get more than 50. And I have here, I think. I have here too. And that's all. When you get 90%, about 90% projectile speed in your gear, it's okay. Because you are going to use some attributes that gives you a lot of attack speed, a lot of projectile speed. So this is what you get. The rest of the gear is based on Goldus Fine and of elite damage reduction and area damage reduction. Why did I choose this? Elite damage is obviously their elite hits very hard, and area damage hits like the big sword with the big guys with the swords hits a lot. If you are taking area damage reduction, you are reducing the damage of the big sword guys and those mages that drops an area in a circle. So just try to have 3 elite damage reductions in epic stats in your gear, and three area damage reduction. That's all. If you have 3 and 3, just with for example, I have elite damage reduction here, elite damage reduction here, and I think I have here too, here. So I have this 3 and some area reduction. Like more than 30%, and here more than 40%. It's okay, just to survive at least one hit of every single monster. Now I have to talk about mana leech and life leech. As you know, you can only have mana leech here on magic and rare stats, and you can have life leech here on magic or rare stats. Those are the only places where you can have mana leech that are not epic stats. So what I'm suggesting, because magics and rare stats are always higher in values than epic stats, what I you to suggest to do is that always try to get one mana leech and one life leech on your epic stats, just in one equipment. I got this, just 2.5 mana leech, 1.5 life leech. That's all. You don't need more than that. That's all, and you don't need more than that. You are not going to die with this build. You are not going to die of one shot, of two shots maybe, yeah, but of one, no. Well, the last thing to consider is that is damage to elites. Damage to elites should be always more than 100%. This is very difficult to get. And for example, I have here, and in those mage or rare stats when you can't get damage to elites or projectile speed or whatever you need, just try to get life. Life is important, because every monster, the most damage you will be hit by a monster is about 14k, so keep that in mind. And the last thing I need to notice you about is rebound. Rebound chance is very easy to get. You can have rebound chance on magic stat here on rings. So I have here life and here rebound chance because I have a lot of rebound chance. But however, you can get here and here, and if you and the helm, this is a very easy. So if you have here like 38%, 35%, another 38% or 35%, you are going to hit 100. So it's very easy to get 100% in the gear. Well, one thing I need to say is that all your equipment should be at level 13 or 12 at least, to make this build works, because lower than that you will suffer a lot. So that's why it's a quite hard build to get. Well, I have to say that these are the stats you are going to need to get in order to make this build works. Max life, just in base, like in base stats and a percentage like this. And how many life do you need to get? About 15k at least. I have a lot more, but about 15k is at least you need to have. The other thing is attack speed, 60% at least. Critical strength chance, always 100%, no more than that. Evasion, what you can. Yeah, you don't need more than what you can with your build. Just higher amount is higher defense for this gear. Elite damage reduction, always try to have more than 40%, and area damage reduction always have more than 33. About this, well, Um, Pierce chance, you will always need to get this at 100%. Fork chance always need to be at 50%. Rebound chance will always need to be at 100%, and projectile speed will always need to be more than 80%. Okay, because 80% plus the attributes, you will get 50% more, so at least 130% of projectile speed. You don't need more than that. I've tried almost 200 and I noticed a difference, but it's not a big difference. I prefer to rework some options here to get more Goldus fine or more life or more armor, etc. The last thing to consider about here is what legendaries are you going to need to use. Well, here in the helm you need to use this vitalizing vital helm of vitality, or this legendary effect that gives you 32 max multiplier. Look, I have this amount of life. If I get rid of this, I have, look, 7k. It's a lot. So that's all. I forgot in the last thing that always get Goldus fine in rings and armor, base stats and rare stats or magic stats. So whenever you can have Goldus fine on epic stats, just lock it, because it's very difficult to get this option. Well, you can change your helm. Yeah, I don't suggest to change your helm, but you can change for this that resurrect you when you die. So, but I don't suggest to go on this, just if you want to. This helm, I don't try it. I don't think it's a good helm to use. This spectral side, at least for this build. Maybe for another build is very good. A build with I don't know, with Shadow Arrow, I think it would be very good. But with this build, it's not. So just don't use this build. Just use this or this. However, like I mentioned, this is the best. This is just, if you don't have this, just try to use this until you get this. The second thing is the armor. Well, the cape. I think this is chest armor. Yeah. Well, you have some options here. I prefer this. I think for me this is the best. I don't go on this because even if I got an armor multiplier, I will need to change the build, and I don't think it will work as properly as it is, because it has 33 evasion multiplier and converts evasion in armor. I don't think I will get the same amount of armor with this armor multiplier. I didn't try it, but I don't think it is good, so I don't suggest to go on this. I used to use this elemental resistant multiplier at first. It is good to survive some things. It's not bad. However, you will need to change a lot of the build, so I don't suggest to go on this. Just Indomitable Mountain is the best option. Well, we finish this and this. I'm going to talk about the pendant. Legendary options of pendant are useless for this build, so just, or if you get these options that I'm showing you, or don't get any options. I have this just to have it, because I don't care if I can reroll and in the future day put another option that is good, I will roll for it, but at the moment this is like the only option and it's not the best, so just forget about you can have a goal, an epic amulet, and that's all. You don't need it. Doesn't need to be legendary. Okay, I'm going to explain about this Golden Fleece of Midos. and sparkling boots of Midos are a must. You need to get this and this. This is a must. You can't not have them, because this gives you a lot of money, but a lot, and you are going to hit a lot. Remember that you have a lot of projectile speed, a lot of forks, so you are going to hit a lot of time. I've tried not using this support smoke screen, and I use it tumble, and I get about per run about 100k just with this passive, so it's very good. And the boots, this is the best of most of the core of the build, because they have percentage of gold to find, and the increase of Goldus Find collection is a must. If you don't have this, you are going to have a lot of time trying to get the goal, moving, and you want to do the run as fast as possible and with a lot of gold as possible. So this is a must of two. Of course, about inextricably waste ward. Well, I use this because the aura, inextricably torment, that reduce damage. This is a very good way to reduce damage when you are against mobs. So that's all. That's why I use it, and it has a lot of synergy with this. So these two are the best options. This is the best option for the belt. I don't find another option viable. Let's go with the shoulders. This is a must, of course. Gives you projectile additional projectile. So, for example, I hit like this 4, and when I get this, look, I have 5 more and a chance to get another more, almost 6. So sometimes I will hit for 6 additional projectiles, and sometimes I will get 5. The bracers, you can go any bracer you want. I just have it because it uplifts echoes of Binlinis, and it deals a little bit of physical damage. It helps me to kill elite enemies, but that's all. I don't think it is a very good. I don't think there are very good braces for this build. So if you want it, you use it. I must say that if you use these echoes of Villinis, you are going to have a lot of lag. So keep that in mind. Another, well, legendary gloves. You can have these legendary gloves or this. Just I have this. I didn't test the other, but 23% cooldown is a lot of reduction for this skill. Look, I have 2.4 with these gloves that have, well, a little speed, attack speed. I have 0.13, so this is a lot. It's a very hard change, and you can, of course, use the support skill, and its cooldown is very low. So I suggest to go on this. You can go on this. I didn't try it. I think it will be very good, very good. But because I don't try it, I don't know if it is good or not. That's all. Maybe I try it in the future, but at the moment I don't think I would change it. About the rings, just this ring that gives you +1 rank on every ancestral gift of this ancestral legacy. Look, I have 11 of 10. That's all. You can't have 2 of these. I tried to use 2 of these and just give you +1. You have only 1 legendary effect at the moment. you can't have more than that of the same effect, of course. So just one of these. I have this because it triggers like it triggers this skill, but you can have it a normal ring like with epic stats, and that's all. You don't need it. Doesn't need to be legendary ring. Well, that's about the gear. I'm going to talk about attributes. The attributes I use are these. I have movement speed, just because I have emotes with a little movement speed just to move faster. I think to go more than 3.8 here is nonsense. You don't need to go more than that. I've tried a little bit more and I didn't notice too much difference in terms of farming gold, so this is okay. Even 3.5 here, just with the rare and base options, that's all. You don't need more than that. And you will get a lot of movement speed in this branch. Look, I have plus 24%, so it's a lot. Why I go here? Well, I go here because of this. Plus 15 projectile speed and plus 35 projectile speed. So if I get rid of this, I have 90% of projectile speed. 140% is a lot. You don't need to go more than that. I tried 150, 175, 190, and it's a nonsense because they hit a lot fast, but it's much lighter and you don't get more gold, just hit more, that's all. You think you will kill faster, and this is not. You are not going to kill faster because it's lighter, so I think this is okay. What you can do on this branch? Well, if you think you have a lot of time, hard times with the elite bosses, you can have this. You can go until you get here. You will get plus 10% damage to elites and plus 50%. So you go here until you go here. This is the last branch you need to fulfill. Just try to make sure you hit faster, you hit for a lot of amount, you are not dying, you have a lot of crit chance, because this is like I completed this when I made when I made this build and rework it. So just this is for the final. Just if you're having a lot of hard times with elites, just go here. If you need some critical strike chance, just a part of this, just take this, and you can take this until here. You will have 4 plus 6, you will have 10 critical strike chance. That's all, you don't need more here. And if you're dying a lot, you can take this. This is a very good option for survive. Just go here until you get here. Why? Because you will have a lot of armor and, as you can see, elemental resistance. You have plus 200 to 2000 and 1900 elemental resistance, so you can go here. The build I used to play with before I got the higher values of everything was here, and here I got until here, so until the elite damage. The other thing, if I have something I could use, I put all the left points here, but that's all. You don't need to go more than that. Here, this is the limit, and here is the limit. Here you can go a little bit more until here, but that's all. You don't need to go more than that. Well, I'm going to explain about Ancestral Legacy. There are two options to build Ancestral Legacy. You can go here and here, or you can go here and here. Why did I choose this option and I don't choose this? Well, because it gives me some movement speed that is good, and I have here a Slormancer's fine. That's all. The Goldus fine is the same. I don't think it is worth to go here with this attack speed. It is don't worth, because you have here attack speed and armor and elemental penetration. You don't need them at the current state of the game. You will need them in the future. In the future, if I see that there are a lot of enemies that have a lot of defenses and I need penetration, I will just go here. That's all. This skill is not useful. You are not going to do elemental damage, so it's useless. This is useful because the fragments and the gold is fine, and the quality and quantity magic items, but like I said before, I prefer the movement speed, and the Slormancer's fine. And Slormancer's fine for me is the best. And that's all. That's all about this Ancestral Legacy. Of course, you can go here. You can take one point here and 1 point here. This is an aura. Just this aura reduces the attack speed of the enemy, I think, but I don't think it is worth. And that's all. I prefer this and this because this, for me, this works the best. Well, that's all the thing I need to say about this build. It's a very long video. Just I want to show you something. A table. This table is what I did the last day. I have this Goldus percent fine. So I did 10 runs, 5 in prison and 5 in graveyard, and these are the results. You can see, stop the video and see them. I'm going to explain something just for finish the video. I got more gold on prison, like average, and it takes me a little more time, but I prefer to go on prison because the lag is less. So go on this, and as you can see, the gold per minute in this column. This is a very difference, you know. This is like 16k gold. Imagine if you have 4 minutes, it's about 60k gold, so it's a lot. And well, if you want to see this table, you can see what are the values I get, the average, the total I get in 36 minutes. I get this amount of gold. I don't know. I think this is not the average, just the summatory. I don't know how to say it in English, I'm sorry. But well, that's all I want to say. The last thing about the game, it's that enjoy the game and hope you like this build. I'm sorry if I don't understand very well and I'm not explaining it very well. I'm really sorry. I try to do my best. The last thing I need to say about here, this I forgot, is just always have +5 level on Core or on Core Iron Bender. Just forget Iron Furious +145. level max, plus 2 on arrow shot, and everything on bravery. That's all. Well, just enjoy the game, and these are all the things I need to say. Well, that's all. Thank you for watching the video, and see you in the next one.